In this video, we're going to show you how to add a brand new part to an assembly file. So in case you have something that's a little bit difficult to model as a separate part file, or it's too difficult to figure out what those measurements are, you can do that right within the assembly file. It's a little bit of a different process, but it works similarly to creating a sketch. So the way we start this is I want to create a back wall, which I don't have currently. So in creating that back wall, I'm going to go to the Assembly tab in my assembly, and under Insert Components, there's something called New Part. So once I left-click New Part, my cursor is going to turn to a little check mark, and if you take a look down at the very bottom here, it says select the face or plane on which to position the new part. So basically, I need a sketch plane to start drawing. So I'm going to use the face of the back of one of these two side walls as my sketch plane. So I highlight the entire face, left click, and then that turns into an origin. Okay, so immediately I am now underdefined, and I'm looking up top here, and it says sketch 1, and I'll notice that shifted over to the right from the edge is my exit sketch tab, which is highlighted, and the symbol here for exit sketch is on, so I know that I'm in sketch mode. So here, hit the space bar, normal to the plane, and I'm going to create a corner rectangle box, and I'm going to start from the origin to the inside corner, and there's that vertex, that dot, left click, and there's my geometry there, and exit the sketch. And now that I have a sketch, I'm going to go ahead and go into part 4, open that up, sketch 1, highlight it so that it is light blue. That means my sketch is highlighted and ready to go. I'm going to go to the Features tab, and shifted over is the Extruded Boss Base. And I probably want this to go the other way, so I'm going to change my direction. And I have this set to millimeters. Probably not a good idea since I did everything in inches. A little late for that right now. But I'm going to make this about 13.25 millimeters. It's pretty close to half. And select, finish the boss base. Okay, and I'm still working on that part, so there's a little bit more that I have to add. I have to trim out that little section. So now I'm going to go into that little corner. I'm going to highlight that surface and do a new sketch, and press the space bar and normal to the view so that I can see exactly what part needs to be trimmed away, and use my line tool to stay on the line, and I'm just going to draw a box around it, making sure that it is all enclosed, and green check the line properties, green check the insert line tool, and then I'm going to exit the sketch. I'm going to do it here. I could also do it here. So left click, exit sketch, zooming out, going into features just like you normally would, extruded cut, and make sure that this goes all the way through. Green check, and now I have this board that is flush. Okay, so that's basically creating a new part. It works within the entire assembly system. You can see in the feature management tree everything that is associated with part 4, which hasn't really been saved yet, is all in blue, meaning that this is the part that we are editing. So now that I'm done, I need to make sure that I go back into full assembly mode. So I'm going to left click, edit component, or to get out of edit part. And when I go to save this, so I hit save, it's going to come back to me saying the following models referenced in this document have been modified. They'll be saved when the document is saved. So because we have this part 4, which we haven't really named, we're going to say save all. And then for the save as, this assembly contains unsaved virtual components which must be saved, which is that back wall. So do we want to save it internally, which means only in this assembly file, or do we want to give it a specific path? So we want to save it externally to make sure that it's its own separate file. Okay, and then which one of these is going to be saved externally? That's going to be part 4. And then we want to specify the path, and we can put it all under the pinball project. Go back one, say pinball project. I want to select that folder, and I'm going to click OK. So now all of that is saved. Just rebuild to make sure everything is good. And if I go to my folder, CAT 210, 220, pinball project. So here is that part 4, which I had just saved. All right, so you probably want to do a little bit more. You probably have to open the part and do a save as so that you save the part exactly how you want it. But in case you're in a bind, this is the way that you can do so. And that's creating a brand new part in the assembly.